Part of the work that First Person Plural does is to raise an awareness and help people understand about dissociative identity disorder and dissociative disorder not otherwise specified. With this DVD, we want to talk about the 3 stages of therapy, but making sure that at every level, every point, that it's understood that this is never a linear journey. You'll dip backwards and forwards throughout. And because we're using 3 experts by experience, a supporter and 3 therapists, we're hoping to interweave their experiences, what they've learned in their journeys through working with people, or living with the situation themselves, and show the commonalities as well as the differences. That's really, really what we want to capture on this. I think therapy naturally falls into very loosely and broadly into 3 stages, and I think it's very important that there's recognition right from the start that this will never be a linear journey, but there will be 3. I think as a client, I can identify the 3 stages very much on looking back, but when you're in it, you can't see this for yourself.
People often get confused when we start talking about stages or phases, that, you know, you do this and then you do that and then you do the other and then you're finished. When actually in practice it doesn't go like that. In practice, in those 3 stages, you're going from stabilisation into trauma, from trauma back into stabilisation, from stabilisation into trauma. Occasionally, and I've had this experience, you will get kind of a jump over kind of sort of stabilisation into what seems like the 3rd stage for part of the system. And we've actually had part of the kind of sort of the more solidifying integration going on directly from a stabilisation. So it's possible to even do a jump over a stage. So what you get is you don't get a linear 1, 2, 3. What you get is a spiral where you can sort of revisiting the stages at appropriate steps, and that's just the way it is. And we have to get away from this idea that it's phase 1 followed by phase 2 followed by phase 3.
A lot of the time it feels like a chaotic process for both the therapist and the client, because you go back regarding different stages with different parts of the personality. So the received wisdom of stage-orientated treatment, stabilisation, prior to any memory work, prior to bringing things together, does have its limitations. I mean, you might do quite well, for example, stabilising certain parts of the personality that you know quite well and who get to know you, and lo and behold, as the work progresses, other parts of the personality might emerge who have not been part of that work, they haven't been around, so you've got to go back to it.